I am hoping to come on every Sunday around this time just to give you some tips to take into the week that helps you stay on track with your self care routine and maybe give you some different ideas to incorporate in your self care routine, things like that. Um, for those of you who do not know me, I am Brittany Elliott. I am a self care and mom life management coach, and my mission is to really change the motherhood narrative. Motherhood does not require self sacrifice, as a lot of us were meant to believe. And I really work to help working mothers feel vibrant, empowered, and fulfilled throughout their motherhood journey so that you have a great and joyful motherhood experience. You can learn more about what I do at backtoyouin5.com. So let's see. I am going live via Riverside, and it's the first time going live via this um, software. So hopefully it's all good and it's all rolling. And if not, we'll see. Then we'll do it better next week. It's all learning curve. So, one, just so you know, you probably are hearing a little bit of things in the background. This week, actually on Friday, a tree fell in our yard. So my husband is out there chopping it up, trying to get it together so we can put it somewhere. Um, and more about the week. Overall, last week was pretty good. I hope that you had a good week too. Our week was busy. We were traveling um, last weekend for family reunion, and then so we came back and just have tons of laundry to do. Um, I facilitated a couple workshops last week, vision board workshops, which is my most requested workshop that I facilitate. So I had two of those last week. Work was just busy week, and it was our daughter's last week of camp, so there was just a lot going on. And she's probably going to come in and out while we are live. So gonna try not to take up too much time, just out of respect for her patience, and so that y'all can get some of these takeaways and apply them ASAP. So, one thing that I want to talk about first before I talk about these takeaways is mindset. So, I mentioned those um, vision board workshops that I facilitated last week. And one goal that was pretty much the trend for everyone last week was mindset. Everyone had goals, but felt like all they needed was to change their mindset. And once their mindset got better, that they would be able to achieve their goals. And that is true. Doing mindset work is very important, but you have to be intentional about doing your mindset work. Your mindset is just, it's not going to shift without you doing anything to make it shift. So I highly recommend you reading the book Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. It was that book that made me realize that I actually, my whole life, went through my entire life with more of a fixed mindset than a growth mindset. And a growth mindset essentially states that you actually can learn to do better. You are more inclined to be inspired by other people's success. You accept challenges and you accept criticism and you work to do better. And you actually truly believe that your input does affect outcomes. So the more you put in, the more likely you're going to get things in life. If you have a fixed mindset, then typically you don't take accountability for things that happen to you. You fall victim to the things that are happening to you. And so you don't have that inspiration to do things differently so that you have different outcomes. So it's very important to determine where you are with your mindset, if you have a mindset that's more toward growth or more of a fixed mindset, and to do the work to get yourself to a growth mindset. So, fixed mindsets typically avoid challenges, give up easily due to obstacles, see effort as fruitless, ignore useful feedback, and are threatened by other success. People with a growth mindset embrace challenges, persist despite obstacles, see effort as path to mastery, learn from criticism, and they are inspired by other success. So just check into that and where you fit in all that because it's important. You have to do work. and be intentional about your mindset. And I can say that once you do make adjustments to your mindset, then yes, you will find it a simpler task to accomplish your goals. It doesn't mean all your goals are going to be easy. They're not all going to come natural to you, but you know you'll be able to put in the effort to get them done. So that's my bit on mindset.
Bristol.
She's playing a game. So here are 5 takeaways for not just to bring into August, but and beyond. And I talked about these in more detail in last week's episode of what self-care looks like. That's the podcast. It streams on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can get it from my website, backtune5.com/podcasts. We'll take you there. So, number one is all about keeping it simple, intimate, and time based. So, when it comes to your self care routine, you have to keep it simple. Let's not try to pack too many things into your week. You don't want your self care routine to feel like a burden. So, keep it simple. Reading, I think, is a very low barrier activity if you're someone who used to read and you want to get back into reading. So, you could say, I'm going to read 3 nights a week or every night or one night a week for 30 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Which is better than saying I'm going to read a whole chapter because maybe this book has a long chapter, maybe it has a short chapter. So, giving yourself time based, you could also, Libby is the app that I use to get my audiobooks. You are essentially renting from your local library. Um, So you just need your library card, get a digital number, put it in there, and you have free access to library books. You can do audio, or you can do um like what am I trying to think of? Like just ebooks. There it is. On there. And I usually will listen to or from work. But set time. Even if you're going to do a workout and you say, I'm going to work out for 10 minutes and I'm going to walk for 10 minutes, make sure it's time based, make sure it's simple, and make sure it's something that you are doing not to distract you from life, but really to settle into your life and make sure that it's reflective as well. Choose a time that is suitable, not just for you, but for everybody in your household. You don't want to try to, if you work, let's say you work until 4 o'clock and you get home at about 4:45 and you want to schedule your workout for 5 p.m. That's probably not going to work for everybody because if it's anything like me in my house, my daughter wants my attention when I first get home. So me trying to do something else when I get home is not going to work for her. I need to connect with her for at least 30 minutes before I do something else. If I do that, then she'll work out with me, take a walk with me, sit and read with me. But I have to come home and connect with my family first before I do anything else. So make sure you're choosing a time that works for not just you, but for everybody. You working on your self care, which is the practice of protecting your well-being and happiness, is really so that you can show up better for everyone, but most especially yourself. So don't make it complicated where you are basically setting yourself up to fail because you're fighting the constraints of family life. Don't fight it. Make sure you fit it seamlessly into your daily routines. Hi.
Hi. Um, can I know?
Okay, number 3 is to be intentional. So be intentional with your self care and give it space. So, again, it shouldn't be a chore or a burden. It really is a relief. So, don't try to just squeeze it in. Commit to it, plan it, write it out, just like you should plan everything else, and treat it like an appointment. So, do not negotiate yourself out of your self care activity for the day. If you're going to work out for 10 minutes at 6 o'clock, that's what you need to be doing. unless there's some type of health emergency, like a true emergency that takes you away. It's not just your kid is whining. You still have to do it because that's the only way that becomes a habit. And it has to become a habit for everyone, not just you. It may be weird to your children or even your spouse that you're dedicating this time to yourself. And it may be completely just out of their routine. They're not used to it. You're training them and you're training yourself too. Um, Clarity. So make sure you are connected to your why. So why is self-care important for you and how will it impact your life? I can tell you just straight up, self-care will increase your energy and your confidence. It will improve the relationship you have with yourself. It will improve your overall wellness. Why is that important for you? Why do you care about that? Why do you want to give people the best of you and not what's left of you? Like, I know why. I know why you should want that, but you have to want that for your self care routine to work and for you to be truly committed to it. So, really sit and think about why you want to feel differently and what goals you have that you want to be able to accomplish once you feel the best, like your best you. And number five is to prioritize overall wellness in your routine, but only start with one. So, Bacterian 5 is built around five wellness points: social wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, and intellectual wellness. All of those work together to make us feel the most whole. So, think about a circle, a pie, or pizza. Each one of those wellness points are an equal slice. So, you have to make sure that all of those wellness points are boosted and elevated so that you can feel your best self, but you don't want to attack all of them at once. So, in my program, which is Reconnect, it's a 4-week program. We run cohorts throughout the year, so make sure you check that out, backtune5.com, to see when the next cohort is running if you want to get involved. But we break those down by definition, but also we talk about for each participant which one is best for you to start. Not everyone needs to start with their physical wellness. Even if you have a goal to, let's say, lose weight or eat differently, we may need to start with your emotional wellness, because if you're an emotional eater, if you have emotional triggers that make you eat more, consume more than you're working off in your workouts, then we actually need to attack that first before you're going to be successful in your fitness goals and your physical wellness goals. So it's a whole system. I always recommend you starting with one. And then once you start improving one, you can piggyback and do other ones. And there are ways, like if let's say yoga is a really great activity that impacts multiple wellness points. So it's going to impact your emotional wellness, your spiritual wellness, and your physical wellness in most cases when you're just doing a short yoga flow, especially when you do it outdoors. So that one simple activity, those 10 minutes, could really give you a boost in multiple wellness points. Whereas just reading may only impact your intellectual wellness, for example, depending on the type of book that it is. So, really take it slow, choose your activity. Just to recap, keep it simple, be intentional, and give it space. Uh, Understand why it's important to you, why your self-care is important to you, why your overall wellness, improving your overall wellness is important to you. Have clarity around that and prioritize your overall wellness routine by focusing on one wellness point at a time. And if you're not sure um, really where to start and which wellness point to begin your routine with, I invite you to take the free quiz. It's the wellness quiz. It helps you determine which one of your wellness points really needs a boost right now. And that's at backtune5.com/quiz. So take some time with that. Don't rush through it. There's no right or wrong answers, but you do need to make sure you're answering it for how you're truly feeling in this moment. So I hope that this was helpful. Just a little quick, about 15 minutes to help you go into your week. Again, my goal is to hop on every Sunday to give you some tips to take into your week. Back to school is right around the corner. I know some districts have already started. So I'll definitely be talking about things to help you get through um, school routines and getting back into the flow of going to school or sending your kids to school because it can definitely be a lot. So enjoy your week, enjoy your day, do something for you today that really grounds you, helps you decompress, and helps you feel like you. And until next time, take care of yourself. See ya.